Hi again, Tropics fans, and welcome to the latest edition of Tropics Weekly as we get ready to host the Dallas Sidekicks here Saturday at the RP Funding Center. And remember, that game time has been moved back an hour. 6 o'clock kickoff against Dallas, and the really good news for fans is you can watch it for free this weekend on the MASL Facebook events page. So make sure if you can't get out to the arena, you check out all the action live as the Sidekicks come to town for the third ever meeting between the Sidekicks and the Tropics. Our guest here today is Chad Vandegriffe, and fans are quickly getting to know this young defender who is really been sensational for the first 4 games of the season and comes with championship pedigree from the Milwaukee Wave. Chad, first of all, thanks and appreciate you coming to Florida. What brought you to the Tropics? Because as a free agent and with your skill and your talent, I'm sure you talked to a number of teams, and Florida is very fortunate to have you. So besides the 70-degree winter days, what brought you here to the Tropics?
Yeah, I mean, I hit free agency. I gave it some time. I did talk with some teams, and this is where I ended up. I wanted to come to a good team, a championship team, and the season that the Tropics had, that right there is
said a lot.
Yeah, that said a lot, and I played with a lot of the players that are here,
right?
Whether that be in St. Louis or Milwaukee, and I knew a lot of the players from previous seasons playing against them, so I thought the transition would be easy. Talked with Clay, everything went very well. So it didn't take long once I got in contact with them, and it's been great ever since.
One of the things that I've noticed about your game now that you're here, and I mean, we got to see you some when you were with Milwaukee, but I didn't pay that close of attention, but kind of like Drew Ruggles, you have a calmness about your game, it seems like, at defense. You play with control and calmness in a game that is often chaotic and unpredictable. And where does that come from? Because that is such an asset for a defender in this game, to be able to just take that extra moment to settle and almost think and react in a way that is cerebral instead of just kicking the ball off the boards and hoping something good happens. Where does that come from?
Yeah, I mean, I have a very competitive side, like a lot of the players that play. I feel like you have to play at this level.
Sure.
So I get into it just like a lot of the players, but the calmness, I think, for me at least, just being in those situations, being in those games, being down, when stuff hits the fan, that's the saying, right? When stuff hits the fan, you've been there, done that, and you don't want to be your worst enemy out there. You don't want to self-destruct. So if I can be a leader with my calmness in those situations for younger players or players that haven't been in that many of those games, I think that's a positive. The more people on your team that have been through that.
Yeah, and it's as we mentioned, Drew plays that way as well, and I think it has started to rub off on some of the Tropics defenders. Talk about intense games. I have to talk a little bit about that Kansas City game, 8-7, that we won in overtime, down 7-4. I said, I think during the broadcast, it's the best indoor soccer game I've ever seen played here in Lakeland. It was like the old game, give up 1 to score 2, and just end to end. It may not have been that fun as a defender.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun for the fans. I can tell you that. I talked to Drew after the game. He said it was a lot reminded him of the championship game in Milwaukee a couple of years ago when you guys won the MASL title, with that kind of intensity and energy and effort that was left out on the floor. Again, from your perspective as a defender, what was it like to play in that kind of game?
It gets a little hectic because you don't know what way the ball is going to go, right? Everybody's working so hard, but it is fun because the fans are in it, and you can hear that. So I would say there were a lot of 2v1s, 3v2, end-to-end soccer. So you just you gotta be willing to put in the work in those kind of games, and I thought that we did a good job responding, and the game's not always going to be possession, slow and pretty. Sometimes you're going to have to roll your sleeves up and hopefully we can keep our our shape and our organization and not give up too many 2v1,
Right.
3v2s, up and down soccer, as much as it's fun for
Right.
the outsiders.
Right.
But controlling the game is a big part of it.
And again, from your perspective defensively, we've talked about this with Rob Acosta during the broadcast, that a lot of that is mental, right? I mean, it's just being in the right spot at the right time, and blocking a shot is want to as much as skill. And is that a fair statement from your perspective as well?
Yeah, it's want to.
I mean, you have to have some skill, obviously, but
you don't want them to score, right?
No, right,
No,
right.
But you have to have skill. You have to, you don't want to slide and then they roll it across and shoot. So you got to know when the right time is to block, and hopefully you're blocking and you're in position. You're not always blocking because you're out of position, but I think that a lot of defenders will put their body on the line to get a block.
Well, that's spoken like a true defenseman. Take a block instead of get a goal. It's like the Tampa Bay Rays in run prevention. They talk about how important it is to save a run. Well, if you can save a goal in indoor soccer, that may be the difference. And this year, when it looks like the games are going to be so very close all season long, one goal can certainly make a difference. So, Chad, we appreciate you stopping by today, and we wish you lots of luck Saturday against Dallas. And I know the team will look forward to a little break, which will be nice, before heading to St. Louis at the end of the month. And then February's schedule has been released, so the Tropics know they will be playing 4 games. And in this unusual pandemic year, it's an unusual looking schedule. There is a road game February 12th in Dallas, and then 3 home games, but they come in a space of 4 days. It'll be February 18th through 21st. I'm calling it the Indoor Soccer Palooza here in Lakeland, as a total of 6 games will be played over those 4 days, 3 by the Tropics and 3 also by the teams coming in, Ontario, San Diego, and Tacoma. So make sure you mark your calendar for that weekend. That's February 18th to 21st, and those will be the only home games in February for the Tropics, but you'll get your fill of great indoor soccer action, not only with Florida, but the teams from the West Coast, including Ontario, who we've never played before, and Tacoma, who has never played here at the RP Funding Center. So that'll be a lot of fun. So that's how it shapes up over the coming weeks. Dallas on Saturday, St. Louis at the end of the month, and then the big kind of 4-game Sunshine State Invitational, if you will, February 18th through the 21st, right here at the RP Funding Center. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, have a great week, everybody.